Good morning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee members. I'm Heather Scott, District 2, and today before you is Senate Bill 1046. And I wanted to start with a short story. A few years back, my niece came to visit me in North Idaho, and we went to the county fair, and we were walking by a booth, and it had all the, it was a pro-life table, and it had all the little development stages of a baby. And when we walked by, my niece said, "Aunt Heather, that's not true. We learned in school it's just a clump of cells." And it just shocked me. And I said, "Well, no, that's really the sizes of the babies. That's why they do it like that." And she was adamant that that was false advertising. And so since then, I was this piece of legislation came to my knowledge. Senator Nichols and I had seen this piece of legislation, and I knew this would be a great opportunity for Idaho, because what I realize is what we learn in schools, it basically turns into what culture becomes. And so what this piece of legislation does is it adds a new section of code under Title 33, Education, Chapter 16, which you guys are probably very familiar with, Courses and Instruction. And what it adds is 33-1637, Human Growth and Development Instruction in the Public Schools. And what the legislation says is that beginning on the 2025-2026 school year, which would be, later this year, that through grades 5 through 12 shall include instruction on human growth and development as provided in the subsections below. And then we just go into a little bit more detail of what human growth and development should include. And it would be showing the development of the brain, heart, sex organs, and other vital organs in early fetal development, and then also the process of fertilization at every stage of development. And so that's really what this legislation does, is just brings this to light early in school children. And with that, I'd like to cede the rest of my time over to the Senate sponsor, Senator Nichols, if that's all right.
Yes, absolutely. Welcome, Senator Nichols. Good morning. Welcome to committee.
Good morning. Happy Pi Day.
Yes.
Welcome. Thank you. So yes, thank you for having me in here today. I was just going to go over a little bit more of the details of this piece of legislation. So currently, Idaho public schools already provide some foundational instruction on life science. For example, in first grade, students are taught about adult plants and how animals and how they can have offspring and young, and that procreation plays an important role in ensuring the survival of offspring. In grades 3 through 5, students are introduced to the concept of the stages of life, growth, and development. And in middle school, from grades 6 to 8, they begin to discuss topics like sexually transmitted diseases, HIV, and the consequences of sexual activity. So these lessons lay a beginning foundation. However, this bill adds additional instruction on human growth and development, specifically the fetal development for students in grades 5 through 12. This bill helps to ensure that students are equipped with a more detailed, scientifically accurate understanding of the stages of life, which is your basics of biology. And it's done, as Representative Scott said, through a high-definition ultrasound video and computer-generated animation that are age-appropriate. These resources will show how babies develop from fertilization to birth, helping students understand that a fetus is a living human being from the moment of conception. And this is an important point that I wanted to point out, is that pediatricians recommend that we start talking to children about where babies come from when they're around 4 to 6 years old, because at this age, children are very curious about their bodies and the world around them and their surroundings, and they ask questions. So Senate Bill 1046 ensures that children progress through their education, that they will continue to receive the knowledge they need to understand basic human biology and the miracle of life in a responsible, age-appropriate way. So this bill emphasizes that when topics such as human biology, contraception, and sexually transmitted diseases are discussed in the classroom, that fetal development be included in that discussion. And that as Representative Scott said, that a fetus is not just a collection of cells, but a living human being. I want to also point out that this bill is also in line with existing Idaho law under family life and sex education, which mandates that the family life and sex education programs that are decided on at a district level give youth scientific physiological information for understanding sex and its relation to the miracle of life. So Senate Bill 1046 directly supports this by making sure that students are again provided with age-appropriate scientific knowledge needed to understand that incredible process of fetal development and the miracle of life. I don't really have anything else to add unless you have any questions, and we'd be glad to stand for those questions, but we would ask that you pass this off to the floor with a do pass recommendation. I will point out also that this is already in 2 other states, North Dakota and Tennessee, and it's being proposed right now in about a half a dozen other states.
Very well. Thank you, Senator.